Third example, I'm going to again solve an inequality, but I'm going to do it in a slightly different way. I'm going to use the two-dimensional graph rather than just a number line. Notice in this case that my inequality symbol is greater than or equal to, so I'm looking for all the positive and zero values in this case. Now you have the polynomial, and you'll notice that it's in standard form. It's not factored at this point. So what I would typically do in this case is go to the graphing calculator, graph it much like you see here. Now I don't have the graphing calculator on screen here, but if you were to graph it, you would find that the x values here, this one's at -1, this one's at +1, and this is at +4. Now I'm just listing the x values in this case. These are zeros, and so they have points associated with them, but those are just the x values. Now what I'm going to do is notice that this says greater than or equal to 0. Now we're going to be looking for, so keep in mind that on the two-dimensional graph, 0, our key value, is this line right through the middle. It is the x-axis. So we're looking at things in relation to the x-axis. Now if we want things that are greater than that line, we're going to be looking above. If we want less, then it's going to be below. In this case, we're looking above, so I'm just going to color in this portion of the graph because both of those parts are above the x-axis. Now with these parts above the x-axis, we have to express the answer in interval notation. And we're going to have to do that, remember, by using x values. So if I go from here to here, it's all this stuff, but I'm only going to list out the x values that it's between. So we've got -1 to +1. Since we are including the zeros, I'm going to include those points, and I'm going to make it a square bracket on both sides. Then I jump over to here. This one starts at 4, and it goes forever to the right, which is also going up, but again, we're listing only the x values here. So we're going 4 to infinity. Whenever you have an infinity, you have a parenthesis at the end. So this way, we are able to list out the solutions looking at the graph. Again, if it were less than, we'd be looking at what's below the x-axis, but here we wanted the stuff that only the things that were above the x-axis and zeros.